What's happened?
You're awake too?
I heard you open the door and leave, so I thought I'd come check on you.
Ether, he's gone. All the horses too.
Stay here. Let me go and wake everyone up.
What do you mean he's gone? He wouldn't just take off.
Well, it looks to me like he left us stranded out here. Not even a single horse in sight.
Why would he just leave us here? I mean, he didn't like us, but is that enough to...
I've known him all my life. There's no way he abandoned us. Something must have happened.
Whether something happened to him or not really isn't the issue. Either way, we're still stranded out here.
What do we do?
No point sitting around waiting for him. I say we start walking now.
Is it far?
Walking... probably a day and a half. Not impossible, but we do have luggage.
Leave it to me.
Show off.
We only need to cross the forest, and then we'll practically be at the gates of Sidcam. If I get too tired, one of you will have to carry me too.
I wouldn't count on it. Anyway, you probably need the workout. Surprised you can stand with your scrawny little legs.
No one else complains about my legs. In fact, I usually get complimented on how well they wrap around people.
Follow me. It's still late, so I say we walk for a little and then find somewhere to set up camp for the night. Sound good?
It's freezing tonight.
It's only going to get colder. Sidcam is covered with snow for most of the year. It's like a winter wonderland.
How can you survive if it's always so cold?
We've adapted. We grow our food in greenhouses and make sure to dress warmly, pretty much. You'll have to try to get a hold of some winter clothes when you get there. You two especially. You'll turn into popsicles with that much skin exposed.
I already feel like I'm turning into one.
Let's set up camp ahead, slightly off the road. Wouldn't want to get run over by a passing carriage in the night. Let's decide watch for the night, so there's always someone awake to keep an eye out.
An eye out for what?
I have no clue, but I'd rather not find out. For now, I'm gonna go find some stuff to light a fire with. Leos?
Need my help, do ya? Fine.
This isn't exactly where I expected to be staying the night. How will I survive sleeping like this? Oh, Fawn! You must be used to this kind of thing, right?
What?
You know, being a forest dweller, this must feel like home to you. Aw, you're no fun. It's so cold. How will I even live through the night? If only I had someone to keep me warm.
You can sit close to me if you need to. Fawn?
Huh? Yes, Rain?
My Rain is such a sweet, kind boy. You should be careful, you know. If you run into the wrong kind of person, you could get taken advantage of. Don't you worry, I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thanks. I've always been told I'm a little bit of a dope, but I'm trying to stop trusting people so easily.
You three seem like an interesting trio. I'm surprised you all get along so well.
Get along well? Is that what you think?
Well...
Since we have a lot of time on our hands, I wanted to ask, can you tell me more about Sidcaeum? What's it like?
Imagine a vast city of marble and gold, with pools of water that freeze over during the cold months. Imagine a scene of tall, peaked roofs against the backdrop of snowy mountains.
It's beautiful, especially when snow lines every walkway and kids are out building snowmen.
Have you seen it?
Ah, I forgot to mention that when I'm not in this form, I can see just fine. I'm sorry if I confused you. I lost my sight in exchange for this human body. A large price, but nothing when compared to the alternative. I've had the last few hundred years to get used to it, anyway.
As a bird you can see? Why wouldn't you keep that form all the time then?
I don't know. I can do more to help while I'm like this, but I think half the reason is that I enjoy being able to talk with Ilron. I've definitely spent more time in this form since we met.
You two seem really close. How long ago did you meet?
Must have been around 7 years ago now, when he was only 19.
Was he as much of a handful as he is now?
No, he was much worse. He was especially broody and sometimes hateful. But we've both learned a lot from each other. In a way, I feel like we've taught each other to be human.
What do you want to know?
I'm just curious about you.
Now, I'm not in the business of giving out personal information to bastards like you. Sorry.
We'll resume this conversation another time then.
Please don't.
Aren't you cold?
No, I'm warm enough over here.
I'll take watch first. Leos?
I'll go after you if I have to.
Put me somewhere in the middle.
Whatever is fine.
I'll go after Leos.
Well, that was easy. Varys, you can take the slot after Cabbage Patch over here.
Got it.
The rest of you should get some sleep while you can. There's only a few hours until sunrise.
What are you doing up? You can sleep for a bit longer. You don't need to buzz around me.
You look a little lonely, though. Can I give you some company for a while?
You really can't help yourself, can you? I can't even have an hour to myself.
If you really want me to leave you alone, fine.
Forget it. Stay if you want to.
I bet you secretly wanted me to stay anyway. Fine, I'll spend some of my precious time with you.
Wow, you caught me. How did you know that I secretly love spending my time chatting with annoying shrimps?
Hey, I'm just normal-sized. What'd that make you, then? An eel?
And you've already started. Why don't you make yourself useful and put some more wood on the fire, hmm?
It's been a busy few days, don't you think? I'm glad that it's over now.
Over? What part of this is over? We might have left one problem behind, but we've instantly found ourselves in another. Trouble never ends.
But even solving one problem feels pretty fulfilling. Like we're finally getting somewhere.
The only place we're getting is the back end of nowhere. We're no better off than we were when we first started. We just have a bunch of extra baggage.
Don't you think it's nicer to travel in a group, though? Plus, Elrond seems pretty useful. He seems pretty good at, well, surviving?
Yeah, he can take his surviving elsewhere. I'm sick of seeing his face.
Stop being so hostile towards every new person you meet. He's a little strange, but he did save my life yesterday. I owe him for that.
If he's so useful, then why keep me around? Might as well just leave now.
What?
You heard me. He saved your life, right? Just follow him around from now on.
Why are you comparing yourself to him? You're both totally different people.
You're the one that keeps bragging about him.
But I didn't? I don't want anyone other than you. You're much more useful than him anyway.
Then where was I when you nearly died?
That's not your fault. You couldn't have done anything about that.
If I just tried harder,
Nox did something to you, and no amount of trying hard would have stopped that.
And if that green-haired freak wasn't there, you'd be dead. What use am I?
You saved my life plenty of times too, you know? Actually, now that I say that out loud, I really do sound pretty useless, right? Someone's always saving me.
And that goes without saying.
I'm not that bad, am I?
You're a dopey klutz. But,
But?
a dopey klutz that I don't want to see dead. For some reason. I think if we're both alive by the end of this, I deserve some kind of award.
I'll get you one. How about a big gold medal that says, "My knight in shining armor"?
Oh,
Too much?
I promise I'll do better. I won't let anything like that happen again, and I'll be the one to save you when you inevitably get yourself into trouble. You can rely on me. You don't need him.
Yeah. I know you'll be there to help me if anything happens. I trust you.
Maybe not your wisest decision.
You just told me to rely on you more.
Yeah, but it's kind of gross when you say it. Forget I mentioned it.
Fine, whatever you want. Oh, I wanted to ask. What do you think about all that stuff Ferris said? Do you believe it?
I don't have any choice but to believe it, even if I don't wanna. I find him, difficult to read. He's scary in a way that Elrond isn't.
What do you mean?
I know what to expect from Elrond already. He's got the smarts to back up his strength, and like you said earlier, he knows how to survive. But Varys, he looks like an angel. He seems so calm and serene, but something in the way he holds himself tells me that we shouldn't mess with him. Like he's not the kind of guy you'd want to be on the bad side of.
I think he seems really nice, honestly.
He does. That doesn't make him any less daunting. He doesn't even carry a weapon. It's uncanny.
Do you think that the speaker was lying to us after all? If there's no gods left up there for him to talk to.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I want to know so badly that it hurts. I want to believe in him and what he stands for, but so far everything is pointing against him. Maybe they are there. And the guy's just doing his job, or Or maybe...
Varys did say a few gods were left up there, but...
I'm gonna go get some shut-eye. Try not to burn the place down while I'm asleep.
Aren't you the one who likes to burn places down?
Hello, Rain. It's nearly my turn to take over, but I thought I'd join you for a while. Care for a walk?
Sure, I'd love to.
Do you hear it too?
I do. What is it? Insects? Animals?
Even I'm not certain, but I have a theory. I believe that long ago, a god inhabited and protected this land, but not any longer. I can still feel the wisps of a powerful soul here and there, but I don't sense anyone watching us. Perhaps that god moved on or disappeared and left behind a gift to protect this forest. Or perhaps his soul is still stuck here. I don't know.
More gods. I feel like everywhere I turn, I can't avoid them.
I don't blame you. You've had a lot of encounters that most people would never even believe. I'm not sure if you're lucky or not. I could be wrong anyway. Perhaps nothing inhabits these woods. Maybe it's a crazy hermit living in the center all by himself, driving off travelers.
Can I ask you something?
I'm always here to listen.
For a while now, I've been hearing strange voices in my dreams. Sometimes they're quiet, but sometimes they're frantic and loud, too. I don't know what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
But since we entered these woods, I haven't heard that voice. Not even once. You'd think I'd be happy about it, but I want to find out the truth. Not just have them disappear. You might have no clue whatsoever, but I thought it was worth asking.
Perhaps the remnants of a divine do lie inside of the amaranth then, and it's stopping whoever is speaking to you.
You think it's actually someone talking to me? Not just strange dreams?
I do. Yes. It's just a matter of working out who. You're curious, aren't you? About me.
I am. If you're comfortable answering, there's something I'd like to know more about. You're a god, born from the heavens, but you said that you fell and had to take a mortal body, right? Like Nox, too. He was inside of Soren's body. Does that mean...
No. This body wasn't originally mine. The consequences must be dire for a god to take a human body. Nox was an exception, since the two existed within a single body. But normally the only way a god can take a human form is to enter a body at the exact second the original soul leaves. So, they have to die.
Then... your body...
That's right. When I was on my last legs, and I thought my only option would be to fade away, I was offered the body of a dying infant. The parents were both believers of mine. They prayed and prayed to me to save their child, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing I tried could save him, and it was a decision that weighed on me heavily, to take that body. But the parents, my parents, rejoiced. They named me Varys, after the god that saved their child. I grew up as a human, on a farm far away from here. My life was simple and happy.
A human family? Where are they now?
They're long dead. This was 300 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. They may be gone now, but they still live on inside of me. I'll never forget the warmth that they gave me. I never told them the truth, not even on their deathbeds. I hope I did a good enough job at being their son.
It sounds to me like you were always meant to be their son.
Thank you, Rain. Growing up as a human gave me an insight that I never had before. Not in my life as a god, or my life before that. For that, I'll be forever grateful. I think that's the difference between Nox and I. He didn't get the chance to experience human warmth, so he never connected with mankind. He was thrown into a world of violence and deception, tortured for simply existing. I can't imagine how I would have turned out if that was my first experience with humans. It's difficult to blame him for what he did. Perhaps some of them truly did deserve to die, but he involved far too many innocents. It wasn't his place to judge them.
I can't forgive him, but he's also a victim in this, right?
That's right. A victim of circumstance. He never chose the life of a god. Anyway, I've kept you far too long. For now, go rest. We have a long journey ahead of us tomorrow.
Will you be okay by yourself?
Of course. I've somehow managed to survive these last few hundred years, so I think I can manage an hour or so.
Well, good morning, sunshine. Didn't feel like sleeping in today?
It's lucky I got any sleep out here.
Oh, roughing it every now and again is good for you. It builds some character. Plus, it really makes you appreciate those days where you have a roof over your head.
By the end of this, I should be full of character then. Maybe my expectations are too high, but I'm going to try to stick to a bed, at the very least.
Suit yourself. Since you're up, how about you go wake up your little posse? All right, it's about time we left. Otherwise, we'll just be wasting daylight. Come on, Leos, don't look so down. If you're really that tired, I can give you a piggyback. Or would you prefer princess style?
I prefer for you to disappear from my sight and never come back. I see you're not taking my preferences into account.
I'll be out of your hair soon enough. Being stranded out here wasn't my choice, you know.
How far are we from Sidkayam?
If we continue at this speed, we should be there by tomorrow morning.
Think of it positively. Just one more night out here and then we'll be there.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Maybe not for you, but my legs might fall off. Rain, carry me before I die of exhaustion.
Are you kidding me? We only just started walking.
My fragile, delicate body isn't used to bushwhacking. Rain!
Just for a little bit.
Oh, poor baby Synaculus. Are those short legs tired?
Nah, it's my ass from the pounding Rain gave it last night.
What?
Oh my.
Sign? You shouldn't lie like that.
You're right. I'm fine even after.
Sign.
Fine. Yes, it's my short little legs that are tired. Sadly, the fucking was only in my dreams.
No one wants to hear that shit from you. Keep it to yourself.
Hey, Rain might. He's plenty interested in me.
Can I ask you a question, Varys?
Of course.
Why don't you wear any shoes?
That's because...
Wow, you haven't heard? It's the hottest trend in Sid Kayam, you know. It's a sign of strength. Nothing can beat you. Not the rocks in the road, or the cold, or those tiny steps you never seem to notice and bang your toes on.
Wait, really?
It's true. All the hottest guys in Zidkam are rocking it. Alas, I don't think I could do it. But you should try it out, Rain.
Then, why are you wearing shoes, Elron?
Me? I'm not brave enough. I don't think I could withstand the responsibility of being the strongest, most strapping man alive. Varys is tough enough for the both of us.
I don't think I'm as strong as you, Varys. I hope one day I'll be able to take off my shoes, too.
Yeah. You do that, Rain.
This sounds kind of...
Shh, you. Don't spoil the fun.
Oh, on another note, there's actually something else I wanted to ask. You mentioned that something had happened to force most of the gods down to Vidus, right? What exactly happened?
Have you ever heard of the Aurelian War? It sprung about when the king of Sigcaum outlawed the speaker in the Aurelian religion.
Oh, the sign mentioned something about that. That the crown prince and the speaker left Sidcaum and formed Aurelia Cavella secretly.
That's right. Before then, the Aurelian religion was spread over all of Vidus, but once it was made illegal, anyone found practicing it was punished severely. When the speaker left Sidcaum, he took with him the only way to contact and speak to the gods. We had a choice to make. Leave with him and be trapped inside of Aurelia Cavella and live? Or stay on the outside with no believers. As you know, having no believers means death. Most of us went. Some of us decided to risk it and stay to watch over Vidus. With no followers, we lost our power and fell to the mortal realm, taking bodies where we could find them, or choosing to die. You already know what happened after that. Many of us were found and killed. Some were tortured and experimented on, and some went on to live human lives, blending in with society. We're all still trying to find our purpose.
Then, the speaker does speak to the gods? I was starting to doubt him.
That's right. Although, I imagine they're not all too pleased with being stuck inside of Aurelia Cavella all this time. He wouldn't have an easy time controlling them.
Why does he keep them trapped there? Why not let them go?
I don't know. I've never met your speaker, and I haven't been able to contact any of my fellow gods trapped there. In 500 years, anything could have changed. He was always meant to be our connection, our lifeline to mortals. It's sad that we lost that. Although, now that I can actually talk to you all, that's nice too. Rain, may I ask you a question?
Huh? Of course.
If I asked you to return to Aurelia Cavella right now and stay there your whole life, would you? You'd never be able to speak with Fawn, or Sign, or any of the people you've met, ever again. Would you want that?
I never felt trapped, you know? We didn't know any better, but now... If I was asked to return now, aware of everything going on, out of my reach, I wouldn't be able to.
That's right. I'm sure that's how they feel too. They've been cut off from everything they loved, everything they watched over. If I were them, I would be making my anger known.
How?
Simple things. Making the wind blow just a little bit less, the soil less fertile. Things that, over time, would force people to act.
That's...
Not so different to what it's been like for the last few years. Okay, I want to get this straight. You're saying that a bunch of gods are trapped inside Aurelia Cavella, desperate to escape, and are trying to make our lives a living hell.
It's the only way for their voices to be heard.
What stops everyone from believing in them out here?
Well, some remain, secretly worshipping their favorite god, but not many.
My family, once upon a time, we worshipped a god too. But my parents always told us to never speak to anyone about it.
We don't. In Sid Cam, it's practically suicide to follow any gods, both socially and literally.
I don't like the look in your eyes. Don't try to get involved with something that has nothing to do with you.
Does it have nothing to do with me at this point? I want to help them. Maybe somehow we'd be able to.
Take one step at a time, Rain. It's admirable, but you should try to solve your own mysteries. Freeing them will be no easy feat, even if we somehow manage to find Aurelia Cavella. I don't know how you'd go about letting them out.
I know exactly where it is, though.
That's not the problem. It's surrounded by an unnatural mist that serves to keep out strangers.
I came across that too. I was following the river, and then found myself back at my house in a daze. I had no memory of it.
Then even returning home one day will be impossible?
Nothing is impossible, but just focus on one thing at a time, or you'll find yourself tripping up. You need to find Caspian, right?
That's right. That's step one. Then we'll work out the rest as we go.
That's right. You know, one of the best things about having a human body? I can be the one doing the petting. It's a little sad, though. The older I became and the more I grew up, the less people around me wanted to be pet.
Aw, I'm sure if you asked nicely, lots of people would gladly let you pet them.
Oh, you should try asking Ilron.
Me? Oh, Varys, would you be kind enough to give me a pat on the head?
Of course. What about you, Rain? Fawn? You too? Leos?
Yeah, no thanks.
Would you rather Rain do it?
What? No, of course not. Well, I mean, unless he wants to.
Ooh, me too. I want a pat.
Do you want one too, Fawn?
Yes.
You know, you act like an obnoxious prick, but you're pretty whipped around this guy, huh? What do you owe him?
The irony of that coming from you is hilarious.
Oh, no, Leos, you got it wrong. I know what's up with them. They're married.
What? You're badly mistaken. We're friends, just friends.
Rain, you're very sweet, but the two of us, yes, we're just friends.
Seriously, a god and a human? Oh, that would be an accident waiting to happen, right?
That's right. It would never work.
And do I look like the type to settle down and get married? Don't be stupid.
You're right. Sorry. I just assumed from the way you two act around each other. Guess I was wrong.
Oh, I'm starving.
Me too.
I wish I had something to give you.
I'll go hunt us something to eat for dinner. I do it all the time.
Let me come help you.
You three should stay here. I don't want any missing children reports while I'm gone, okay?
Good riddance. Might finally be able to have some peace and quiet.
Aw, Fawn. You should have offered to go with them. He'd be great at hunting animals.
I don't hunt them. I couldn't.
What, are you a vegetarian or something?
I'll eat it if it's offered to me, but it's not my first choice. And I could never kill one myself.
Huh. Well, here I thought you'd make an amazing serial killer. Hidden behind that cute exterior could be something wild.
That's not funny. I'm not a murderer.
Oh, but imagine if you were. The clash between your looks and your secret personality. Ooh, it sounds so sexy.
Do you think death is funny? Do you think that's something to joke about? If you have nothing better to do, go bug someone else.
Fine, fine. I can tell when I'm not wanted. Rain, you'll talk to me, right?
Of course, whatever you want.
I'm gonna get some fresh air.
I'll go find him.
Let me. I'll go find him.
Oh, well, okay, if you really want to.
Was that really a good idea?
What do you mean?
Vaughn hates that guy. I mean, don't you see how he talks to him, how he looks at him? He wants nothing more than for him to disappear. I'm not convinced yet, but if the legends about this place are true, they're the last two you should be leaving alone together.
Don't be stupid. Sign would never hurt Fawn, I'm sure of it.
That's not what I meant.
Daddy's bringing home the bacon!
There's something really disturbing about you calling yourself Daddy.
Where'd the twerps go? Didn't I tell you guys to stay put?
Fawn went for some fresh air, and Sign went to get him.
Some fresh air whilst we're outside, right. Well, the smell of the food should bring them back pretty quickly.
You think Fawn would hurt him? There's no way. He couldn't even harm a fly.
I'm not so sure.
Ah!
What's wrong? Are you okay?
He's insane. He's a maniac. He's going to... He wants to...
Slow down and explain it to me properly.
I just wanted to tease him a little, you know? But he went ballistic.
Do you really think this is the time or place to be working someone up?
I didn't think he was actually taking it personally. I just wanted to have some fun.
You know, he's a lot tougher than he looks. He just bottles it up when he's angry. I thought he was weak at first, but he's proved that he can hold his own. I wouldn't mess with him personally.
I'll go get him. We don't want him getting lost.
Fawn, wait a minute. What are you doing? Put that down!
There's no need for this. Calm down and we can talk it out, yeah?
No! No, I won't calm down! He deserves everything that's coming to him! I'll kill him right here! His blood can still get to the roots around us and feed the trees! He'll die here!
Stop! That's not how you really feel. You're letting it get to you!
Try to calm down, okay? We can work this out without any violence or bloodshed.
Fawn, please put that down. Sign means you no harm, and you don't want to hurt him.
Ever since you first turned up, I knew you were trouble. You only want to take Rain away and hurt him. You don't care about him, or any of us. Only yourself. You're a narcissistic, useless, spoiled brat who wants to dirty everything he sees. The only way you'd be useful is 6 feet under the ground, feeding the earth!
No, I'm...
Shut up! Don't you dare speak to me! You have no right! Get off of me! I said, get off! Or I'll hurt you too!
Rain, there's a bottle in my back pocket. Quick, get it and pour it down his throat.
What?
Now! There's no time for you to be indecisive! Well, he's a lot stronger than I expected. Lucky I got some help with that one.
You wouldn't guess it from a small frame, but he packs a serious punch.
Don't let it get to you. The Amaranth grab onto people that are full of anger and easily swayed. And both of those things apply to Fawn. He wasn't himself.
Of course. I know that.
What did I give to him?
It's just a sleeping decoction. He'll be out cold for a while, but it's not harmful. He probably needs the time to cool off. At least there will be no need to keep watch tonight.
What? Why?
The only 2 dangerous people in the group are out cold, and I don't think any of us are up for a fight after seeing that. Tonight, we just rest.
You said no one had to keep watch, but really what you meant was you be doing it.
Someone has to make sure none of them run off or injure themselves. You'd think they were a group of teenagers with the drama they cause.
It was certainly an eventful night, but with so many strong personalities in one place, something was bound to break down eventually. It all worked out fine, but I worry about the aftermath. I hope I'll be able to reconcile.
There's not much to reconcile. They barely liked each other from the get-go by the sound of it. Oh well, who knows? It's not my problem.
You already care about them more than you want to admit, it seems.
Purely for selfish reasons. I want their secrets. And I'm sure they'll be the key to getting you into Aurelia Cavella. For now, we'll play it quiet and help them with Soren. Later, we get what we want from them.
You make it sound very methodical, but I don't disagree.
You should get some sleep. I'm fine keeping an eye out myself.
I'd rather stay here with you, actually. And I'm not tired. But I feel like I should be. Honestly, even now, I can still feel Nox's energy coursing through my body, from the top of my head all the way to my toes. It feels wrong.
There's something I wanted to ask you about. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too, and I'll respect that. It's something I already had an inkling about, but I could never find the right time to bring it up. When Nox mentioned what he'd gone through, you said that something similar happened to you. I don't want to overstep any boundaries, but...
No, it's fine. You know I'll share anything with you. It was a long time ago now, but my body still feels it as if it were yesterday. I was staying by the Cape of Snowdon, in the city of Lasmere, several years after my parents passed away. Have you heard of Lasmere?
A little. They used to be known for their research into medicine, if I remember correctly. They were always at the forefront in that field.
Yes, that's right. The king of Sidcaeum commissioned the local lord to do this research after the Aurelian War, to show people that they needn't hold any faith in the gods, just science and technology. After my parents passed, I thought I could pass on the knowledge that they left with me and help to make the world a better place. So, I traveled to Lasmere and spent a few years teaching and healing. It was peaceful for a time. It seems that the peace can never last for people like us, though. Someone accused me of being a witch, and I was immediately detained within Lasmere's dungeon. Things they did in there were horrific, to say the least. They may have made progress in medicine by leaps and bounds, but at what cost? I wonder just how much they learned from my pain.
I didn't know. Why didn't you try to escape?
I would have. I wanted to. But I learned of the other prisoners. They weren't like me. They weren't gods or demons or witches or any of the other things humans are so quick to fear. They were normal people. Some of them were children of the detainees or orphans with no home to return to. I never saw their faces, but I heard their screams and pleas. I felt their souls screaming out for a savior. I can't even begin to explain how much pain I went through. But hearing their screams, the screams of the children begging for their parents, was worse. I couldn't just leave them there. No one else would have helped them. When I escaped, I made sure that research facility would never be able to be used again. The Lord didn't live much longer, and anyone that dared to touch any of those prisoners also met unfortunate ends. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's not something I regret either. What do you think? It doesn't make me much better than Nox, does it? I might justify it to myself. But does the reason for murder make the act condonable?
Don't compare yourself to him. The two of you are nothing alike. That was all Nox knew. He killed for revenge, for pleasure, for fun. There's a difference between that and protecting innocent lives. Maybe I'm not the best judge. I have plenty of blood on my hands myself. But I wouldn't have done anything different if I was in your shoes.
Thank you, Ilran. I wasn't looking for validation or sympathy, but I'm happy that you'll still accept me, flaws and all. You know, you've grown a lot since we first met.
I was a reckless, hot-headed kid back then. It's kind of embarrassing, really. I'd rather forget it.
You were brash, but it was endearing in its own way. The you from back then wouldn't have accepted me so easily.
It's thanks to you, you know. If you weren't there...
You would have been fine either way. You have a good head on your shoulders and a stout heart. Even once I'm gone, you'll be all right.
You know, I'd help you even if it took a whole lifetime. I'd go anywhere for you. Do anything you needed me to.
I wouldn't ask that of you, but I appreciate the sentiment. You have your own life to live outside of me. I've already taken 7 years from you, which is unforgivable.
Of course. I think we're getting closer anyway, so you'll have to deal with me for a little bit longer.
I think I can do that.
Oi, Rain, wake up.
It's not like you to be up first.
Up first? I barely slept. Not that I want to be picky or anything, but this isn't exactly the most luxurious place we've had the pleasure of staying at.
I'm not sure any of the other places we stayed have been particularly luxurious. I mean, Soren's mansion was amazing, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, it's about time we got moving. Ilran and Varys just went to scout around. Fawn's still out cold, and Signed, he's been sitting over there by himself. He hasn't said a word to me this morning.
That's... very unlike him.
He still seems pretty shaken about what happened. Hey, why don't you go and try talking to him?
Hey, Sign. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine.
You seem a little...
You should go check on him. He hasn't moved since last night.
All right. Come get me if you need anything, okay?
Yeah.
You're still out cold, I see. I'm not surprised.
Oh, Ilran, you're here. When will he wake up?
Probably later tonight. That stuff was pretty strong, but not strong enough to knock someone out for days. Oh, we'll have to carry him, too. Pass him up to me. I can carry both of them for a while.
No need. I'll take him.
Huh, worried I'll bite?
He weighs nothing, and you already have someone to carry. I'll take care of him.
An extra body will slow us down a little, so I don't see us arriving before nightfall. And that's only if we leave now and keep up a steady pace. Are you ready to leave?
Yeah, let's go. Sign?
Huh?
We're leaving now. Are you ready to go?
Yeah. Sure.
What's the plan when we get to Sidkeum?
If we actually manage to get 2 unconscious people past the guards, I'd say that your first stop should be somewhere decent to rest for the night.
Agreed.
Even finding somewhere to rest will be interesting. Even after that, I have no clue where to start. How will we find Caspian in such a big city?
Big city would be an understatement. It's the crowning jewel of Vidis, a vast metropolis. One step at a time, Rain. I'm sure once you're there, many opportunities will present themselves to you.
What about you two?
We have some other business in Sidkayam, so we'll drop off Soren and find you again later. It's likely to still be covered in snow, so I'd work on getting some warmer clothes, too. You wouldn't want any limbs falling off.
What about you, Varys? Aren't you freezing?
I'm still not much of a fan of clothes, but Ilron won't let me walk around naked.
And for good reason, too. You'll frighten everyone if you walk around dangling. I have to lug your clothes around everywhere, you know?
I wouldn't mind if you didn't.
Well, I would.
That's Sidkayam? It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Finally, I'm nearly home.
It's been a long journey just for you to go home, right? You must be excited to be so close.
It hasn't been long compared to yours, but it's a welcome sight. I want my own bed.
Fawn? Fawn, we're nearly there. Wake up.
Rain? What happened?
We're okay now. Sidkayam's finally in sight.
Oh no, I didn't mean... So, this is Sidkayam. Never in my life did I think I'd see such a place. And it's freezing. I can't feel anything.
Fawn, how are you feeling? Once you're inside the city, you'll be able to warm up.
Yeah.
I never got the chance to tell you, did I? Your singing is beautiful. It's what led us to you in Stagwitch. Even before I became a god, I've always loved music. Your voice is magical.
Thank you.
You guys can have your happy reunion later. I'm freezing my balls off out here. Let's go. Wait here.
Where are you going?
To have a little chat with the guards. I'm sure I know them from somewhere.
Everyone here looks so...
Fancy? Don't worry, it's not all like this. Sidkam has its slums like anywhere else.
Oh, nice. Somewhere you'd fit in.
No arguments there. It's been a long few days. I think from here we'll take Soren to our, friend Zarin.
Alone? No, we should come with you too. I don't want to leave Soren.
You're barely standing anymore. Just go find somewhere to rest for the night, and we'll come get you soon to see him again. I promise we won't do anything bad to him.
It's just for now.
Okay. Even at night, this city is beautiful. It's like a dream to stand somewhere like this. It's extravagant, rich, lavish.
We've got a lot going for us here. I'm happy to be home. I'll find somewhere for you three to stay tonight, so don't worry about that.
Does that mean you're leaving?
That's right. It's about time I went home. My parents will be awaiting my return with bated breath, I'm sure.
Finally, we can get rid of you. It took us long enough, didn't it?
Yeah. You never have to see me again. Come on, I know just the place.
Are we severely underdressed?
You definitely look odd to everyone else, but I wouldn't worry too much. Most people in Sidkam only care about two things: themselves and gossip. The worst they'll do is tell their friends that a group of stinky, dirty travelers passed by them.
Well, that's not that bad, is it?
Not exactly the reputation I want to have. But no, it's not that bad. Where do you live, Sign? Is it close by?
Further up the mountain. It's still a ways from here. Before we go in, how long do you plan to be here?
Well...
We could be here for a while if we're planning to stay until we hear word of Caspian.
Okay, got it. Follow me.
Sign?
Aaron! I was hoping you'd be working here today.
Sign. Your parents were here the other day asking for you. Where have you been?
Oh, you know me. Here and there. I'm on my way back now, I promise.
Then what are you doing here?
I've brought 3, friends with me. They're not from around here, so they need somewhere to stay for the next week or so. Do you have any spare rooms?
It's unlike you to be so generous. Well, we do have rooms available, of course.
I'll pay for all 3 up front. Make sure you give them the nice rooms, all right?
Fine, fine. Do stop by more often, though, all right? And don't forget to apologize to your parents. They've been worried sick.
Worried? Maybe, but not for me. Just worried for their precious public image. There, 3 rooms for a week.
Sign. I don't know what to say. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm a nice guy. Anyway, it's about time I head off. It's been fun.
Sign.
I'm sorry.
So, back to just the 3 of us, huh?
It looks like it.
Excuse me, I prepared your rooms. If you follow me, I can show you to them.
Oh, thank you.
Your Sign's friends? I'm glad. I was beginning to think he didn't have any.
Sign not having friends? How could that be true? He's probably the most charismatic guy I've ever met.
He definitely has a way with his words, but he always distances himself from people. Sure, he knows a lot of them, but he never lets any of them in too close. He'll just dump them and run away. He's afraid of getting hurt.
Do you know each other well?
Not so much anymore. When we were teenagers, we'd hang out most days. Now, I barely see him once a month.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You don't have to be. Everyone grows up, and with newfound responsibilities comes less time for wasting away hours with friends. Still, I worry about him. How unprofessional of me. I never asked your names.
I'm Rain, and that's Fawn and Leos. We've just come here from Oxabor. It was a grueling few days of travel.
I hope you'll find your time here relaxing then. These are your rooms, side by side, and here's a key for each of you. In the lobby, you'll find another doorway that leads to the baths. You can use it whenever you want, free of charge. I'll leave you for the night, but feel free to come get me if you need anything.
She seemed nice.
Well, he doesn't seem too happy.
How could he be? It wasn't his fault, but he must be finding it hard to forgive himself.
I feel for the kid. He's got it rough. You tired? I mean, obviously you are, but if you're up for it, we could go have a look around the general area, or...